of assessment. Okay. What happens if you are taking a composition scheme there?
Yes.
What happens if you are taking a composition there? They say we also don't know what is value. Now the difficulty arises because of this. Neither the sales tax authorities know what is the value of the goods, nor service tax department knows what is the value of service. Therefore they say, as a thumb rule, let us do composition. Let us do composition. Okay, no problem. Under composition, what can we see? Okay. Where the value is not determined like above, then what do? It shall be 40%, 70%, 60%. Okay. Original work, 40% of the total amount charged. Contract for maintenance and repair, etc., renovation, etc., will be 70%. Other work, 60%.
But 60% is gone. 60 or 40 and 70.
Now this has been deleted. Now it is 40 and 70. Okay. Maintenance and repair, 70% they are saying will be value of service. Your state authority says 70% will be value of material. You end up paying on 140. You will say, I am getting only 100, but tax I am paying on 140. Is it valid? Is it constitutionally valid?
Yeah.
No.
Why? Who says yes, sir?
Because it is a composition scheme. You are at it is at your office. So you can otherwise go to the.
How many say no? It is not valid. Why, sir?
According to me, state government cannot take, state legislature cannot take one stand and opposite stand cannot be taken by the central legislature. It cannot be a case where right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing.
That is always the case in this country. And always upheld by our courts.
There should not be any tax on tax.
Sir, you have seen, no? Generally in our country, brothers always fight for property. Always. Actually not brothers, it's their wives behind them. When they go to the mother, what happens? A mother, what will a mother do? You are also right and you are also right. Our courts are like that. Sales tax is also legible, service tax is also legible. Courts are like that. No. To say whether it is constitutionally valid or no, according to me the answer is no. It is perfectly valid. It is perfectly valid. He is right. It's a scheme given to you. You take it or leave it. It's an optional scheme given to you under law. Either you take it or you leave it. It's an option available with you. Otherwise, you determine the actual value of the material and you determine the actual value of the service and then pay tax accordingly. I never forced it upon you. Second, these problems arise in maintenance and repair contracts only. Why? Because in a maintenance and repair contract, there is possible, I've seen live examples, where the value of material rests about 90%. Well, labor is only 10%. Vice versa is also true. In a maintenance and repair contract like an AMC, etc., the labor element will be about 80%. Material will be only 20%. So what does the legislature do? They cannot define a different composition scheme for different types of works contract, different types of maintenance and repair. Therefore, as a via media, they come out with a thumb rule saying that 70% is it. If you do not like it, don't take it. But you cannot challenge saying that, but I want both. I want composition here also, I want composition here also, and you tell both of them to restrict it to 100 only. That cannot be, sir. That cannot. It's perfectly valid. It's perfectly valid.
Sir, can a composition in VAT and in service tax value, actual one? And my contract, it is specifically defined what is the value and what is the installation or service amount. And from the beginning, tender, contract, everything there. Because in a VAT, they allow composition scheme on 100. I am showing in my billing material amount, installation amount. When I come to service tax, I say charge only on installation amount. But
No
they
problem.
say
Correct,
you are
you can
going
do
on a
that.
composition scheme.
No,
that
you
doesn't
can
mean
do
actual
that.
value.
You can do that, sir. If you can tell me the value of the material, you
Yes,
can do
definitely.
that. You can do that. You can do that. All these problems arise, sir, because
Because you have given an example of L&T, because party knows it also, both the parties knows it.
Your superintendent is different from my superintendent, sir. No, this complication doesn't end here in this service, sir. Complication doesn't end here. There is a reverse charge.
Yes.
I'll come to that.
Yeah.
The problems do not end ever in this particular industry. There is a reverse charge. And that too, reverse charge of 50-50. What are you doing? Works contractor, 50% you will pay, 50% I will pay. What value then I pay? And then they say both can choose their schemes. works contract scheme, I will pay on value of material. Then I will ask for his balance sheet. Please give me your balance sheet. Please tell me, sir. These are practical problems.
Yes, yes.
These are actual live practical problems happening. Vis-a-vis works contract. Vis-a-vis this concept. We'll see that in just a minute. Okay, this is a composition scheme, no problem. What is the meaning of the total amount charged? They have defined. Now please see what is total amount. Total amount means gross amount charged plus fair market value. Now we saw actual value. Now you please see fair market value of all goods and services supplied in or in relation to the contract, whether or not supplied under the same contract. What is the meaning of this, sir?
Supplied by
Free supplies.
Free supply by principal.
Free supply, how will you charge, sir? Kindly see less the amount charged for such goods and services.
It is when a seller, the main contractor gives it to the subcontractor and he provides some electricity or some other supplies and he does not charge for them.
Then you have not charged only, no, sir?
So if not charged, so the entire FMV will be added.
Less will be not.
Less will not be there.
Yeah.
So one of the arguments is this is to tax free supply.
Free supply.
By the customer to me.
Yeah,
To
customer.
the contractor. The customer supply to the contractor and that has to be included.
Yes.
According to me it doesn't flow from the language, but this could be one of the interpretations.
Yeah.
What could be the other thing? To capture undervaluation.
Huh?
To capture undervaluation. To tap undervaluation. That is why it says fair market value of all goods charged by you less the amount actually charged by you. So if the fair market value of this particular bottle is 10, but you have charged only 2 rupees to the customer, I will not believe in that. I will add 10, I will deduct 2. Balance 8, please pay tax. That's the intention, which I could understand. Other reasoning could be this, sir. Please note, in these matters there is no right, there is no wrong. There is only your view and my view. Ultimately it's Supreme Court's view. There is no right, there is no wrong.
That is also different all the time.
That is you should be thankful, sir, you are born in a democratic country. At least you have right to say all these things.
So much talent is in India then.
That's right.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Okay, assuming it is so, sir. Assuming. What do you mean by the term fair market value? They have not defined it in the Act. There is no provision under the rules to determine the fair market value. Unlike in customs, where all of us know custom valuation rules are there. If you don't know what is the value, then you have sequential rules. You will go to like goods, to identical goods, like goods. You will go to cost construction method, etc., etc. You follow all the rules to arrive at the value. There is no such valuation rules for service tax. Then how do you determine the fair market value? And that too, please note, it doesn't say market value. It says fair market value. How do you determine that? You will do a survey.
Survey. Depending on the transaction done in that area.
Which area, sir?
In particular area of which you want to determine the fair market value.
Of the
area.
steel, of the cement.
Yeah, the cement.
Which area, sir?
Yeah.
Of the steel, cement, mud. Okay, no problem. I concede. I give it to the revenue. Goods, no problem. You please tell me how will you determine fair market value of services? How is it possible to determine fair market value of services? No two services are like. Goods you can compare. I can compare this Bisleri bottle. Please note, I am taking names only for ease of understanding. Bisleri bottle with an Aquafina bottle. Please tell me how do you compare two services? Each service is different. Each supply that the same service provider makes to different customers is different. Okay. You cannot say that, sir, I will be liable to pay tax on 5 lakhs for arguing a matter where I am actually charging 5,000 because Harish Sarve is charging 5 lakhs. Cannot. There cannot be a basis for determining fair market value of services. In my humble opinion, it's practically impossible. How do you determine that? Therefore, it will be on an ad hoc basis, on a best judgment basis. The assessing authority will do a best judgment assessment and add that value. And then you keep contesting.
Sir, on resupply value,
Yes, sir.
own judgment before 1/7/2010, that should not be estimated on the basis of definition of consideration.
Correct, correct.
Till that point survive after this definition?
His question is, there is a larger bench of the tribunal in the case of Bhayana Buildings. Okay, under construction service, they held that construing the term consideration, it will be only amount charged by the service provided to the service receiver. The value of the free issue material that the service receiver gives to the service provider for construction will not be forming a part of the value of taxable service on which he is liable to pay tax. Does it still hold good after 2010? Does it still hold good after 2012? That's his question. According to me, there is an explanation which they have brought in the rules. Not this one, sir. There is another explanation in the rule which they have brought to plug that, to overcome that from 2009. From 2009, they have brought an explanation in the rules itself to plug that or to overcome that judgment or to shut that argument of the SSC saying that no value of free issue material will be included. But in my humble opinion, again, that explanation doesn't seem to do that. Therefore, even today, we can argue that value of taxable service is what I charge. Free issue material will not be forming a part. That's my personal opinion. Contrary opinions are there. That explanation doesn't seem to do that. So even today, you can argue that value of free issue material is not included. Okay, now we'll see some issues, sir, for 5 minutes. Okay, then we'll close because I don't want to delay the next speaker. I don't want to be like that postman. I've told you that postman joke, no, sir? Yeah? Okay. That in a small village, there is a post office. Okay, and the postmaster is a man with some authority. It's a big, in a small village, postman, post office there, postmaster is a very big authority. So he's supposed to open office at 10 o'clock. And there's a huge queue outside the post office. People are sweltering in the sun. This man coolly walks on his bicycle at 12 o'clock. Opens the window, does some work for 20 minutes and closes the window at 12:20. People are furious, saying that, boss, we are standing here for 2 hours to coolly walk in and you are leaving. He says, I have broken the law once by opening late. I will not break the law again by closing late. So I will not do that. I'll just take 5 more minutes. Okay. These are some issues, sir. As all of us know, in works contract, there is a reverse charge. There is a reverse charge where the contractor will pay 50% and the customer will pay 50%. First question arises on what value. It's very difficult to determine. It's difficult to determine my value only. How will I determine his value? Second, how will be the invoicing being done? What will he show on the invoices? A documentation part is also a big problem in this because I've got queries related to that. Third is, why this 50-50, sir? In works contract it is 50-50. In some service rent a cab etc. is 60-40. Some service it is 75-25. Why this? Reverse charge I understand. No problem. You make it a full reverse charge, no? Why this 40-40, 60, 75-25, 50-50? Different, varying for different services. What is so special?
Both.
Like lawyer service, it is full reverse charge. You have to pay. We are through. You have to pay. Why this?
That lobby must not be strong.
Sorry, sir.
That lobby must not be so much strong like
That lobby is partly strong, sir. How can it be partly strong, sir? Either they are or they are not.
Unlike the lawyers are
Lawyers are strong.
No, sir.
all finance ministers and lawyers.
Why, sir? Take a guess. When the government introduced in 2012, they issued a TR letter saying these small contractors, works contractors, etc., manpower recruitment, security walas, etc., they are all evaders. Okay, it's impossible to catch them. It is impossible to tax them. Therefore, we are bringing a reverse charge so that we can tap them. Okay, no problem. Okay, very noble. Okay. Just 2 questions. Very, very noble. No problem. 2 questions. Why reverse charge 50-50? Take full from him, no? Take full from the receiver. 1. Second, you are saying because of large scale evasion, there is a reverse charge. When the government provides service, still there is a reverse charge? They don't trust themselves. The government providing a service, either it is in the negative list or it is a reverse charge. Then, so all your reasoning goes for a toss. Please note, I have looked at UK VAT, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Nowhere I found this. Yes, reverse charge is there. It's a recognized method of taxation world over. But 50-50, 60-40, 90-20, nothing.
Indian innovation.
This is ingenious, please. This is ingenious. So this is not no problem. So the problems stop here. What happens? At what rate he will charge? Whether he will charge full rate, whether because he has to pay 50%, he will charge 12% or 6%. No problem. Okay, that also problem. What happens if the entire service tax has been paid by the service provider? He says take 100 rupees bill, 10 rupees tax. Is the service receiver absolved? Is the service receiver absolved?
No.
Why? Full tax you have got, what more do you want?
What will you say? You pay. Forget about it.
So the state cannot unjustly enrich itself, sir.
Right?
State cannot say on the very same supply, I will take 200 rupees tax.
Practically, it is very difficult to explain. They are saying you pay your share.
No, that's right, sir.
Yeah.
Practically, I know what they are up to. But legally, what should be the answer? Legally, what should be the answer? You have collected tax at 100, you wanted 100 rupees tax, you have got.
So 50% liability is on the recipient, or suppose. So it is his duty to discharge it. And what extra 50 the provider has collected, that is excess amount of service tax which he has collected, so he has to pay to the government under.
He has paid already.
So he has paid. So the extra 50 is for what he has excess collected. It is not the service tax. That is excess amount collected.
Therefore,
And
they will
that is
pocket it
covered
and tax him also.
Then that is covered by a different section. Excess amount.
Okay, excess amount collected, you will forfeit under 73A.
Yeah.
And balance is 73 and still ask him to pay.
Yeah.
आप डिपार्टमेंट में काम कर रहे हैं. This is exactly the contention of the revenue. Please note, he is right. Okay. I am not agreeing with him, but he is right. This is exactly the contention of the revenue. Okay. But I met one of the better cases, sir. Not itna worse nahi. One of the better cases saying that let him file refund. You pay. Let him file refund. We will give him refund. You pay. तो refund तो होना नहीं कभी. Never. You will, sir. Please note. Still income tax is much better. In income tax, at least this year, next year, 2 साल के बाद 3 साल के बाद check आ जाएगा. In indirect taxes, you don't get any refund. Okay. It's like yagya. You have seen no yagyas. Swaha. It will never come back because you have the mammoth Everest standing of unjust enrichment, sir. It's practically impossible to prove unjust enrichment. That incidence has not been passed on to anybody except etc. It's just impossible to prove. So refund you forget. You still tax him. Can the department go after the service receiver having collected 100 rupees? Yes or no, sir?
Yes.
How many say no? How many say no? Nobody. How many say yes? All. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. In law, the liability to pay tax is on the service receiver. He is the assessee in question. He is the assessee in question. And therefore, the department can correctly go after the service receiver for his share of 50. Irrespective of the fact whether he has paid on 50 or no, or whether he has paid on 100. His liability is independent. Okay. You cannot shift your liability in contract. Okay. You cannot shift your liability in contract. Can I ask you to pay my income tax? No. You cannot shift your liability in contract. Liability is in law. Under 68, Section 68, you are the service provider, you are the service receiver, both are liable. However, there is a Delhi High Court judgment and Supreme Court judgment in income tax. Similar thing, similar question was there under HUF. whether HUF has to be assessed or the individual members have to be assessed. Okay. The tax officer said no, we will not allow this individual because everybody is getting a threshold exemption. HUF has to be assessed. The matter went to the Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court said yes, assessing officer is right. HUF has to be assessed, not the members. But credit of the taxes paid by the members has to be given. You cannot demand tax again. So whatever taxes has been paid by the service provider will be adjusted. There will not be a demand. There will not be demand. Assessment will remain. Assessment will remain. A demand of tax will not. What happens if different options are exercised by the service receiver and provider? Suppose the service provider says, I will pay on gross value less material. Whereas the service receiver says, I will go for composition. Then what happens? 100 rupees is the value of the contract. 50 he has to pay. Suppose on 50 he says, I will determine what is the actual value of material. And he pays 2 rupees tax. Whether he says 50, I will go under composition 4%, I will pay 2 rupees tax. This can happen. It's allowed, it's permissible. Okay. How will you arrive at that value? Don't ask me. How will you arrive at that value? Don't ask me. You have hundreds of works contractors, sir. For every builder, subcontractor, there are subcontractors after subcontractors. How will you arrive at that value? I do not know. Whether it is practically possible or no. Legally, yes, both can. These are some issues, sir, which I find at least cases which are there with me. If there are other issues, you can tell me also. You can ask also. The affecting the real estate industry vis-a-vis the works contractor, vis-a-vis the builder, vis-a-vis the flat purchaser. Okay. One issue is of development rights. Is grant of development rights subject to service tax post 2012 or no? What are development rights? As Vinay was asking his question, the value of material is being taken as value of the development rights also. The development rights are also included in the value of the material on which sales tax is ought to be taxed. Whereas that is not the actual value of the material. Actual value of the material is 100. Development right is 500. They are making me pay tax on 600. Is development right subject to service tax? VAT is separate, so somebody else will deal with it. Okay, I can answer that also, but since somebody should not say you are encroaching on the state's jurisdiction. Development rights are taxable. TDR, as we call it, sir. TDR.
No. No.
Why?
So it's a transfer of immovable property outside the definition of service.
It's a tangible right, sir. It's a right. Where are you transferring immovable property, sir? A, I am the owner of the land. A, suppose I am the owner of the land. I give you transfer of development rights. I give you the development right. I continue to remain the owner. In return, I will tell you, give me 5 flats. Somebody's question was, you give me 5 flats. Okay. You will give me in that building 5 flats. You will give me. The question will arise whether both are liable to pay service tax. That is, the builder has provided construction service to the owner, and 5 flats is the consideration, and therefore liable to pay tax. On what value is very difficult. Second, when will you pay tax? Now with the point of taxation rules, when are you liable to pay tax? When is the service provided? Independently, is the landowner liable to pay tax on the grant of development rights? This is a big question which every SRS schemes, sir, the slum rehabilitation schemes, etc. We have this in BKC, etc. The government is giving TDR, saying that you take this to builders, you take this plot of land, but the state remains the owner. You take this plot of land, you develop. Okay, one building you will construct for these slum dwellers. Okay, which will be actually inhabitable. Okay, and then they will construct a posh tower aside that they are entitled to sell. They are entitled to sell. Here again, please note, these are all matters of contract. The property in the buildings vests with the developer or no. The property in the building vests with the state or no. Where there is a transfer, the question is whether there is the right given to you, the right to develop, is it taxable or no? Ownership is a bundle of rights. Please note, ownership is a bundle of rights. Right to develop, right to terminate, right of easement, I allow you to enter my premises, license. Okay. When you go to a cinema hall, what is that, sir?
License.
It's a right, it's a license. You give you a ticket saying that you can come here, sit here for 3 hours in this chair and then go. You don't become the owner thereof of the property. Okay. So, ownership is a bundle of rights. If I let out one right, or I let go, or I transfer one right, is it subject to service tax? Is a big question. Second, option contracts. Somebody came to me. What are these option contracts?
So what is your view on development rights?
What is your view, sir? I have no view, sir. Yes, sir.
Because valuation, when a landlord parts away with the land, and in return he gets some flats. So there is an issue with the valuation, whether how to value it.
Correct. Yes, that's what I told you, sir. How do you value it?
So in the education guide which you mentioned, it's mentioned that the value of the land to be considered, whereas in a circle.
Forget the education guide, sir.
So, but it is
Throw it in the
beneficial.
dustbin. Huh?
It is beneficial. Education guide gives a.
Then rely on it. Then rely on it.
So,
as long as it is beneficial to you, rely on it.
So I like to have your.
Otherwise, you just throw it in the dustbin.
So your take on this? How to.
Value of land cannot be improved.
Can we take the questions after the session?
Can
be construction cost?
Excuse me. Can we take the questions after the session, once the session is over?
We'll just run through these questions. I know these are all your questions. Okay. Option contracts. Somebody told me there is an option. Suppose I don't sell the property to you. The builder says I give you an option to buy the flat. I give you an option to buy the flat for which you pay me 1 crore. This 1 crore is not towards the flat. It's towards the option given to you, whether or not to buy the flat when the flat is complete. And the day you exercise that option, I will have OC. Then no service tax. Is it correct?
No, at the time of payment of the premium, the service tax will be charged. But in stock exchange also when you do buy sell options,
Correct.
you paid at that point of time.
So when you pay 1 crore for the options,
So it is a loan. It is not a.
No, it is premium paid for the.
is it a loan, sir?
It is a loan. In reality, it is a loan.
And suppose you don't exercise the option, this money will be refunded to you.
Yeah, return back.
Sort of deposit.
Or adjust deposit, yes.
Deposit.
So sort of a deposit.
Deposit.
Option deposit.
Deposit or loan.
I do not know, sir. I am just taking you.
The education guide says that it's taxable.
Education guide may say anything, sir. It is taxable. According to me, everything will be taxable.
That's what's your view?
So it is a
We'll
one.
see that, sir, because I am getting reminders after reminders. We'll just run through the questions. What happens in a case of 99-year lease? Is it a sale?
It is not a
You pay stamp duty as a sale, sir. Stamp duty is practically a sale. What is 99-year-old
It
lease?
is a right to use land.
Right to use.
Right to use.
It's an interest in property which is in a lease.
In a lease, it's an interest in the property which is transferred. Therefore, there is no supply.
It's a right.
It's a right. It's not an interest in the property. It's merely a right. And then stamp duty we say.
This creates an interest in the property.
Lease creates an interest in the property, sir. Say.
This definitely creates, it's an inheritable right. This can be transferred, can be inherited. You have to contract, but that is the difference between license and lease.
Lease.
License is not.
105 of the Transfer Property Act, sir. Section 105 of the Transfer Property Act. What is explained is there, explained there. Stamp duty, as I told you, if you are a works contractor, you are paying service tax, you are paying VAT also. Are you liable to pay stamp duty? Are you liable to pay stamp duty? Land value, again, as somebody pointed out, what happens to the land value? In all these contracts, whether you have to pay VAT or you have to pay service tax, what happens to the land value? Because a major component of the transaction is the land value. Construction may be 1 crore, the land value is about 50 crores. What happens to the land value? What happens if the construction is pre-July 2012 and the amendment came after 2012 and the sale takes place after 2010? Will it be taxable? Will it be taxable? There are various other issues, sir, like reimbursements. Reimbursements would be subject to tax or no. There are various reimbursements that you make to the builder. Are those liable to tax or no? Your garden, your swimming pool, your health club, whether those are liable to tax or no. Security deposits. Generally these builders take security deposits, sir. Pre-society formation, etc. Society never formed because this man will not leave till all his flats are sold. Okay. Some of them don't leave even after all are sold. What happens to that? Is it a maintenance and repair service provided to the builder to you? These are some issues. What happens to input credit, sir? All of this. Some flats you sell after OC. Some flats you sell after OC, which is not a service. It is sale of immobile property. Many flats you have sold without OC where you have paid tax. What happens to your input credit? Does it go pro rata? Rule 6 will apply. These are some of the issues which I have highlighted. There are many other issues. Which is time permitting because we don't have time. We will take, sir, we will do question and answer or?
Sir?
After that, no problem.
Excuse me.
You have a break now, sir?
Some 15 minutes.
Okay. Sir, I have been told there is a 15-minute break. We will take questions in that, sir. I do not want to delay the next
Excuse
speaker.
me. One
Yes,
question. Property rented out on given licensing basis. Will it attract service tax?
Why renting out immobile property is a service?
No, on given license day.
What is given license, sir?
This property is not yet sold. No?
Excuse me, please session is going on.
No problem. There is no sale. There is a leave and license. No? It's a renting of immobile property. It may not be taxed under construction section or works contract section. It will be taxed under renting of immobile property. And after 2012, please note, after 2012, there is a negative list, but there is also a declared list. What is this declared list? It's a double positive. बेटा तुम तो गए. Service का कुछ argument मत करना. Renting of immobile property, construction, all are in the declared list, which are services. Even otherwise, according to me also, renting of immobile property is a service. World over it is recognized as a service. What is it, sir? You are letting out your asset. You lend, it's a simple. You have 1 lakh rupees. You lend it to me. What do you earn on that interest? It's an asset with you. Therefore, it's a supply. You have an asset. You give it out, and you earn money. This is supply. So, renting of immobile property is a service, and we subject to service tax. Nowadays, I do not know whether. Only question would be whether it creates a lease or no, as he pointed out. If it creates a transfer of right in the property, then it's a different question. But with a leave and license, and then it will be subject to tax. It will be subject to tax.
No
matter is pending in the Supreme Court, sir, but nothing will happen. Please note.
No VAT, na? VAT applicable?
No, there will be no VAT. It's a supply. It's a supply. Yes, sir. We'll take, sir, because we'll just have a break of 10 minutes now. Tea break. We'll take all questions in that. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bharatji, for your session and pointing out all the intricacies of the service tax on the real estate transactions. Now, I request as Vinkin Pota to propose a very hearty vote of thanks for both these speakers.
It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks to both the speakers of today's morning session. Shasha, we are thankful to you for accepting our invitation and sparing your valuable time. So you have recently explained various provisions of MOFA with practical example. This shall be of intense use in our professional work to the members. We are also thankful to Shri Bharat Rachandani for sparing his valuable time with us on this Saturday morning. Sir, you have masterfully explained the issues under service tax law with reference to various case laws. Sir, you have explained part performance of service vis-a-vis specific performance of agreement as regard real estate transaction. Your presentation shall be of immense